The theory that all horror movies share a single universe usually begins and ends with a cabin in the woods. While most view the film as a meta-commentary or a satire, the production design reveals it is actually the literal glue binding the genre together. The facility is not just managing one cabin. The betting board in the control room lists monsters that correspond to specific franchises. We see Angry Molesting Tree, Evil Dead, Deadites, and Werewolf. However, the smoking gun is the containment screens. During the purge sequence, monitors clearly display the Boomer, Witch, and Tank from Left 4 Dead, alongside a creature identical to the Reaver from Firefly. Director Drew Goddard confirmed that an official crossover was planned where the Left 4 Dead infected were the nightmares for the Japanese branch of the facility. This confirms that the zombie apocalypse, the ghost hauntings, and the slasher attacks are not isolated events. They are regional rituals managed by a global shadow government to appease the Ancient Ones. Every horror movie you have ever watched is simply a failed ritual from a different year in the facility's history. For decades, the horror community debated exactly what Jason Voorhees is. He drowned as a child, yet returns as a hulking man. He is stabbed, shot, and hanged, yet biological regeneration is instant. He is not a zombie in the Romero sense, nor is he a ghost. The answer was officially canonized in 1993's Jason Goes to Hell. The final Friday, in the Voorhees house, amongst the debris, rests the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the exact book from Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. Next to it is the Kandarian dagger. This was not a set dresser's joke. Director Adam Marcus officially confirmed that Pamela Voorhees used the Necronomicon to resurrect her son. This explains why Jason changes from a mongoloid child into a supernatural revenant. He is a Deadite. This recontextualizes the entire Friday the 13th franchise. It is not a slasher series. It is a spin-off of the Evil Dead. Jason possesses the same dark magic durability as the Deadites Ash Williams fights, explaining his teleportation, strength, and why he can only be truly killed by a magical dagger or a bloodline relative. If Jason is a Deadite, then Freddy Krueger is his metaphysical counterpart, and the connective tissue is once again the Necronomicon. In Jason Goes to Hell, the climax ends with Freddy's gloved hand bursting from the ground to drag Jason's mask to hell. This established they share the same afterlife. But the connection goes deeper. In Evil Dead 2, Freddy's glove is clearly visible hanging above the door in the tool shed. While initially a nod between friends Sam Raimi and Wes Craven, the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash comic series, which was based on a rejected film script treated as canon, confirms that Freddy is a dream demon empowered by the Necronomicon's distinct energies. The book states the Necronomicon has the power to open portals to the dream dimension. This implies that the dream demons who gave Freddy his powers in Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, are actually entities from the Evil Dead mythos, possibly Kandarian demons operating on a different frequency. Freddy and Jason are simply two different soldiers in the same army of darkness. The connective tissue between the slasher universe and the psychological universe lies in a single name, Loomis. In Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, 1960, the protagonist Marion Crane has a secret lover named Sam Loomis. 18 years later, in Halloween 1978, the doctor obsessed with Michael Myers is named Dr. Sam Loomis. This is widely regarded as a tribute by John Carpenter, but within the narrative timeline, it creates a dynastic tragedy. The theory posits that Dr. Sam Loomis is the son or nephew of the Sam Loomis who survived the Norman Bates massacre. Growing up in the shadow of the Bates Motel murders, the younger Loomis dedicated his life to criminal psychology to understand pure evil. This explains his hyperfixation on Michael Myers. He isn't just a worried doctor. He is a man watching history repeat itself. He recognized the black eyes of Michael Myers because his family had seen them before in Norman Bates. This connects the genesis of the modern slasher, Psycho, directly to its evolution, Halloween, through a single bloodline of traumatized witnesses. Stephen King does not write separate stories. He writes chapters of a single universe centered around the Dark Tower. While films often legally separate the rights, the narrative clues remain. The most terrifying connection is between it, Pennywise, and The Shining. In the novelette, the character Dick Halloran appears as a young man who saves Mike Hanlon's father. Halloran is the same psychic cook who later mentors Danny Torrance in The Shining. This confirms that the Shining ability is the primary weapon against the entities of King's universe. Furthermore, Pennywise is not a clown. He is an ancient cosmic entity of Deadites. In the Dark Tower, we meet a creature called Dandelo who feeds on emotion, specifically laughter, just as Pennywise feeds on fear. They are the same species. This extends to the Mist. The creatures in the Mist are not aliens. They are monsters from the Tadash space, the void between dimensions that opened up. The Arrowhead Project in the Mist accidentally punched a hole into the same dimension where Pennywise originated. This unifies The Shining, the Mist, and the Dark Tower into a singular war between the psychic protectors, the Shine, and the interdimensional consumers, the Deadlights. Moving to the sci-fi horror spectrum, Ridley Scott and James Cameron effectively merged the Alien, Predator, and Blade Runner universes through corporate continuity. The connections are undeniable. In Predator 2, a xenomorph skull is famously displayed in the Predator's trophy case, confirming the species coexist and have been hunted for centuries. However, the corporate web is darker. In the Alien prequel Prometheus, a memo reveals that Peter Weyland, founder of Weyland Corp., and Eldon Tyrell, founder of the Tyrell Corporation from Blade Runner, were rivals. An Easter egg in the Alien DVD extras explicitly names Tyrell as Weyland's mentor and competitor. This means the replicants of Blade Runner and the androids of Alien, Ash, Bishop, David, are competing technologies in the same timeline. Furthermore, the 1998 film Soldier, written by Blade Runner screenwriter David Peoples, is considered a sidequel. In the junk piles of the planet Arcadia 234, we see a spinner vehicle from Blade Runner. The dialogue references battles at the Tannhauser Gate, the exact location Roy Batty mentions in his Tears and Rain monologue. This creates a concrete timeline. Blade Runner happens on Earth, while Weyland-Yutani expands into space to find the xenomorphs, eventually leading to the dystopian military future of Soldier. Paul W.S. Anderson's Event Horizon is widely accepted by fans as the unofficial prequel to the Warhammer 40,000 universe. The theory posits that the Hell the ship travels to is actually the Warp, a dimension of pure chaos and demons in Warhammer lore. The visual evidence is the ship's gravity drive, which creates a black hole that looks suspiciously like a warp gate. However, a more grounded film connection ties Event Horizon to Hellraiser. Both franchises deal with explorers in the further regions of experience. The Cenobites in Hellraiser are summoned by solving a puzzle box, the Lament configuration, that opens a door to their dimension. In Event Horizon, the gravity drive is essentially a mechanical lament configuration on an industrial scale. The design of the scars, the hooks and chains aesthetic, and the concept of pain as pleasure are identical. The ship didn't go to a generic hell. It went to the labyrinth of Leviathan, the home of Pinhead. Dr. Weir, the antagonist who rips out his own eyes, becomes a Cenobite by the end of the film. Event Horizon is simply Hellraiser in space, proving that the Cenobites are not demons of religion, but interdimensional travelers accessed through specific geometry. The Child's Play franchise contains a Blinkennial misanthrope that connects it to Halloween. In the opening of Bride of Chucky, inside the police evidence locker where Chucky's remains are stored, we clearly see Michael Myers' mask, Jason's hockey mask, Leatherface's chainsaw, and Freddy's glove. While often dismissed as a visual gag, in a legal sense, this scene establishes that all these killers exist in the same judicial reality. They are all unsolved or closed cases stored in the same federal jurisdiction. But the connection gets more specific. In the Chucky TV series, Chucky mentions he has a respected colleague in Haddonfield. This implies the slashers are aware of each other. They represent a specific breed of serial killer celebrities within this universe,